Hey everybody, welcome to Hey Boo. I'm
Hello.
Jack. I'm Jackie,
Hello,
Chrissy, Lesson
Crystal.
Queen,
I'm
and
Listen Queen.
Miss Crystal. How's everybody doing today? Y'all doing good?
I'm doing good. How
I'm
are you?
exhausted today.
Oh, goodness.
I'm doing okay. So today we're talking about haunted hospitals because it is what it's suicide prevention month.
Yes.
So we figured we'd do like haunted hospitals this month. Stay in the theme. That's a good theme. And today we'll be talking about Charity Hospital in New Orleans.
Which is interesting because I just found out when we were talking about it that it closed down right after Katrina.
Yep.
Was it due to the damage or
Yeah. They had a lot
yeah?
of damage.
Well, it's right in it was right in the French Quarter, so it was basically underwater, wasn't it?
Yes. I,
Well,
A lot of it, yeah.
yeah. Yeah. It was really underwater. It was terrible. The
yeah.
whole the whole New Orleans was terrible. I mean that was pretty sad. It was
Yeah.
coming back through it, and like when I came back in November. When I came back in November from from leaving from
Matt
evacuating,
Matt's here to
um
listen.
um I couldn't believe all the lights that were out. I mean, it was like darkness. You
Yeah.
know, it was spooky.
Yeah.
Hello,
Hi everybody.
I'm here to listen.
That's got to be Matt or
David,
Lurker under Matt's account.
I
Hello, hello, hello.
don't know who Facebook user is, but hi.
So, what about any of you guys in the audience? Do you guys know of any haunted hospitals or, I guess, medical treatment centers? It didn't necessarily have to be a hospital, but where you're treated like a mental health place or even a makeshift hospital, like for flood events or mass casualties, train wrecks, things like that that are haunted.
Well, while we're waiting on someone to come up with something or other hospitals, I did a little bit of research on charity. There's been like 6 different charity hospitals. So the one that's
Yes,
still standing is like
Yeah,
number 6.
yeah, it's the
yes.
1700s when
The
it was established, right?
Wait, what?
Yeah, the original one was established in May 10th of 1736. Um, it was actually financed by a guy. His name was Jean Louis. He was a French sailor and a shipbuilder. However, he died a year before he actually, I guess, gave the money. It was his last will and testament that he actually financed the hospital after he died. Um, it actually was named Hospital of St. John. And then it was also had a French name because at the time, of course, that area was under French rule. But I'm not going to even try to pronounce the name in French. But it was basically the Charity Hospital for the Poor, is what it
Yes.
translated to. And it was actually founded 18 years after New Orleans was established. And then it is actually the second oldest continuously operated hospital. There is only one more that is older, and can either of y'all tell me which one it is?
Are we talking about a hospital in New Orleans or just in general?
Just in general, in the whole United States.
Oh, I would say probably one in one of the original colonies. Um,
You're in the right area.
I mean, I would say maybe something in Virginia area. Um,
New York.
New York.
The
Okay,
oldest
well that's
hospital
New
close.
is
York.
Bellevue Hospital in New York, and it is only 1 month older than Charity, the original Charity.
Really,
Wow, that's amazing.
Yep.
that is interesting.
Yep.
Okay, so if that's the sixth one, it was still built on the same area, right?
Well,
No.
no, because it wasn't originally in the French Quarters. I don't think. Correct?
It one of them. Well, actually, I believe that one actually was in the French Quarter, but it was completely destroyed from a fire back in 1809.
But it was still in the French
But it was
Quarters.
named
I know.
something different. It was.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
I thought it had said that it was further out in the city, but maybe not. Maybe I read a different article. Let's look at, well,
It could be one of the 5 other ones.
could have been. Could have been. So we have some photos to share of the hospital. Let's see. Give me half a second. All right. Go with this one first.
Wow. Look at that.
So of course this is a hallway, which you can see the rooms in the corridor. I've never been in this hospital. You're not allowed to do investigations in it, is what I'm told. So
Yeah,
we
because it's so bad that they don't want nobody in it.
um, all the damage and all
Yes.
the structure. It's not structurally sound,
Yeah,
so it wouldn't be safe for us to.
but it'd be great to investigate.
Yeah. So I'm wondering. I think I want to say that Jason pointed it out when we were down there driving to the French Quarters. Here's another one, Jackie. This would have been the laundry facility.
Ooh.
That's a little creepy.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Let's see what else we got here. This, I'm guessing, would have been probably an emergency room or trauma room or even potentially an operating room, maybe.
Yeah.
Again, without access to the actual
Probably
building,
more
it's
of an operating room.
hard to say. Well, I mean, maybe. I mean, it does seem kind of big to be an ER room.
Um,
And it's weird to me that the tables and stuff aren't in the room. I mean, did they strip the building when it was flooded? I mean,
I think they found bodies in there. I have to go back and look how many, but there was bodies when they went in there. So you know that place is haunted.
there's another.
That could be an operating room, huh?
I
Looking
mean,
at X-rays.
Yeah, so that's the wall where they'd show X-rays. So that may be a emergency room. Or I guess it could be an operating room too, but it seems kind of small for an operating room.
It would be more of an operating room so that you could have the x-rays while you're doing the operation, probably. That's what I would think. Operating rooms aren't really as big as what everybody thinks they are.
I've been in the operating room, I think 7 times. Two different hospitals. Let's see. And of course, maybe
And I
it
was
just seems
looking that
bigger
up. It
when
actually was the original one was in the French Quarter. It was on the intersection of Chartres Street and
Jackie,
Beanville,
there's another
Bineville,
photo.
Bienville.
Bonneville.
Ooh,
Yeah. And it says what is now the French Quarter.
So to me, that looks like this was probably by the nursery, and that looks like an isolette
yeah.
to put the babies in or weigh them in.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at what else we got here. Hi, Kyle. Okay. There's another one, Jackie. Let's zoom in on it here. So, what do you ladies think? You think that's like the main floor, maybe the hub? It's it's hard to say, or a cafeteria, maybe.
That looks like it's upstairs somewhere because you
Yeah.
can see like the other
Maybe
buildings out
maybe a
here.
waiting room? A waiting room or something?
Just seems pretty big to be just well. I mean, I don't know. I've never been in
Does that
there,
look
so
like a basketball goal?
it does. That
It
like a
does.
gym.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Let's zoom in on
I
that.
mean, that hospital was big enough that it could have a gym. I
It
mean,
could have.
because it was a
It was
it
a teaching
started
Right.
charity
hospital.
started out as a teaching hospital. Yeah, so I mean, residents and everything like that would actually basically live there. So
Yeah, you're right.
But
I would
what is
think
all that?
gym.
What
Yep.
is all that
Me
rubble?
too. I know if you see in the background, it's kind of high up,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit high up.
Well, yeah. I mean, that looks like basically, 3 stories in
Yeah.
that one room. Huh. That one's definitely interesting. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. That actually looks like, what do you think? That almost looks like a classroom.
I mean, it very much could be. Like we said, it was a teaching hospital. I mean,
Yeah,
I
you're
would
right.
think they would have a few classrooms, meeting room, something
Yeah.
boardroom.
Yeah. Let's see. Couple more. Actually, okay. Welcome to the Hospital Center of Louisiana.
Maybe that's the entrance.
I mean, that would be my guess. Um, wow. Probably right when you walk in the front door, maybe. I so wish that we could get in to see all this.
It's closed to
Mhm.
anyone because of the black mold, but New Orleans police still do SWAT drills in the hospital. Yeah, that's
Now check out this one. This one's interesting.
Oh my God.
What do y'all think that is? Well, it's an aerial view.
That would probably it would probably be to where like you would have the patient or cadaver possibly on the table, and then up here all the interns and everybody would be watching the process.
True. True. Very true. Okay.
Yep.
Let's see. Teaching autopsy is what Howard said.
Yeah. That's why either patient or cadaver, or depending. I mean, they could probably perform surgeries in there too,
I was
but
going to say live
most of the time
surgery.
that would have a glass for the sterile field though. So that's probably more than likely autopsy area.
So I'm assuming that this is the front side of the
Yes.
building.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that hospital's massive.
Yep. So,
That is just massive, massive. Jeez. Hey, Kristen. Okay. Couple more ladies, and then I think we're done with the photos. Let's see. Yep, two more. Okay. That looks like what the very front door, Charity Hospital, Louisiana.
yes.
Looks like a security guard standing at the front. I wonder if this was pre-flood or if this was after. I don't know. So were there people there when Katrina hit? Was it
Yeah, they had. Yeah.
did they not evacuate all the patients?
No, I don't. Oh, there's a lot of places they didn't evacuate patients. There's a nursing home in New Orleans. They didn't even evacuate patients. They left them there. Even after everything happened, they were still in there and they died.
Wow.
Pretty sad.
That's horrible.
It is. I
Last
forgot the name of the nursing home. Maybe Howard would say it on here, but
Oh wow.
that looks like maybe what, a room.
Yeah, divided into several sections. That might have been like post-op,
Yeah.
like when you come out of surgery, because that's an awful lot of beds in one area and an awful lot of
Possibly, yeah.
curtains. So I'd be curious to see how many people were in this hospital when Katrina hit that they didn't evacuate.
I know they set an amount and they found bodies in there.
Let me see. Is one of you looking that up?
I was looking to see. It looks like it's about 3,000 beds, give or take a few.
Let's see.
Scott, shit, I'm famous. I can't with you.
I know I read it.
Well, Steven just said I've actually seen some pretty famous YouTubers go in there. Well, obviously it wasn't with permission.
Mm-mm.
A buddy of mine was a Blackwater PMC. Okay, so what does that mean, Kyle? Does that mean he was one who went and recovered the bodies after Katrina?
Yeah, Blackwater is a like a third party. Let's see.
They actually euthanized patients due to no power. What? At Charity? How is that legal when it's not legal in this country to euthanize a patient?
Actually, those patients due to mental. We should bring Howard on.
Exactly, Kristen. That was I can't wrap my mind around that. I mean, holy bat cave. How does that even happen? I mean, I know Katrina was a hot mess and lots of people tragically died. I have photos of that, but will not show them on a website. You have photos of what, Howard?
I have photos of that, but we're not sure them.
People getting the bodies out of the water? Well, yeah, we don't need to see that. I'll pass.
Okay, I'm gonna go this way.
Did we find anything that said how many died there?
I'm looking. I'm not seeing anything.
So Jackie, were you and Howard ever in this hospital prior to Katrina? I
Charity?
mean, it's a big hospital, and you guys, I know you lived on that side of the fence prior to being with Howard. So was that a hospital that you frequented before Katrina?
No, I didn't go to charity.
So was it I know it was a charity hospital, or it was established as a charity hospital. So could anybody go there, or was it a religious based hospital, or what was it right before Katrina?
Charity was more like you could go there to help people that couldn't pay for their it was like a free place to go to get help.
Okay, so it was
Yeah.
designed to still be charity medical services,
Right.
essentially.
Right.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'm not seeing anything where it's saying that people died in the hospital. I did see where some people that were in the parking area while they were waiting to be evacuated did die. I do see where the morgue that was in the basement was flooded. So, therefore, those bodies were actually floating, and staff was instructed to take those bodies and put them in the stairwell.
Oh wow.
I mean,
Okay, is Memorial
I'm still
Hospital
looking.
different? Jackie,
What?
is Memorial Hospital different?
Yeah.
I had never been to Memorial. I wonder where that one is.
Because it's saying 250 patients were stranded at Memorial after Katrina. At least 34 of them died. On September 11th, 45 bodies were recovered from Memorial Medical Center.
Bodies
About
inside
5
the
whom had died from the disaster originally. So 40 of those was due to the flooding, I'm assuming.
Howard said, I've been there several times to transport prisoners when I was a sheriff deputy.
Okay. To Charity Hospital?
Howard said, yeah, because he was a sheriff's deputy.
So I found one article, a total of 215 bodies found within hospitals and nursing homes in New Orleans due to Katrina. I would say that number is much larger, especially if they euthanized people that was in the, I mean, I can't wrap my mind around that. I just cannot.
How about leaving?
I don't think they would have euthanized anybody they may have prioritized people as far as their severity and their likelihood. If you had one person that was like basically not going to ever come out of a coma compared to somebody who needed a vent for whatever reason, but they were likely going to make it, they would have prioritized that. But as far as euthanizing people, I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, if they had somebody that was critical and on life support and was dying, and they either gave them more morphine or didn't use backup generators to run their life support, I mean, I guess that technically isn't euthanizing, but if you give too much morphine, you can kill a patient. I mean, you can put them to sleep
Yeah.
so they never wake up.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not saying that that's inhumane, because who would want to die from flooding? But again, I mean, that's illegal in this country. People who want to die can't choose that option. You know what I'm saying? They can't go to the
Yep.
doctor and the doctor say, "Yep,
Right.
here you go. Here's your 2 shots. You're gone." You know, it's just horrible. Horrible, horrible. Okay, Howard just sent, let's see, deadly choices at Memorial. So Howard Memorial is not charity hospital, correct? Okay, it says the smell of death was overpowering the moment a relief worker cracked open one of the hospital chapel wooden doors. Inside, more than a dozen bodies lay motionless on low cots and on the ground, shrouded with white sheets. Here, a wisp of gray hair peeked out. There was there's there a knee was flung, a paled hand reached across a blue gown. Within days, the grisly table became the focus of an investigation into what happened when the floodwaters of Hurricane Katrina marooned Memorial Medical Center in uptown New Orleans. The hurricane knocked out power and running water and sent temperatures inside above 100 degrees. Still, investigators were surprised at the number of bodies in the makeshift morgue and were stunned when healthcare workers charged that a well regarded doctor and 2 respected nurses had hastened the deaths of some patients by injecting them with lethal doses of drugs.
Wow.
Mortuary workers eventually carried 45 corpses from Memorial, more than from any comparable size hospital. I gotta. He sent me. Okay, it's clips, and this doesn't. Okay. More than any comparable size hospital. Investigators poured the evidence over, and in July 2006, nearly a year after Katrina, Louisiana Department of Justice agents arrested the doctor and nurses in connection with the deaths of 4 patients. The physician, Anna Powell, defended herself on national television, saying her role was to help the patients through their pain, a position she maintains today. After a New Orleans grand jury declined to indict her on a second-degree murder charge, the case faded from view. In the 4 years since Katrina, Powell has helped write and pass 3 laws in Louisiana that offered immunity to healthcare professionals from the most civil lawsuits, though not in cases of willful misconduct from their work in future disasters, from hurricanes to terrorist attacks to pandemic influenza. The laws also encourage prosecutors to await the finding of a medical panel before deciding whether to prosecute medical professionals. Powell has also been advising state and national medical organizations on disaster preparedness and legal reform. She has lectured on medicine and ethics at national conferences and addressed military medical trainees. In her advocacy, she argues for changing the standards of medical care in emergencies. She has said that informed consent is impossible during disasters and that doctors need to be able to evacuate the sickest and the most severely injured patients last. Also, with those who have do not resuscitate orders, an approach that she and her colleagues used as conditions worsened after Katrina. Wow.
Wow.
Well, I'm just, holy cow. I don't like, wow.
Yeah.
Jesus, take the wheel, Howard. You could have sent me that crap prior to now. I'm having to just take in what I just read. Damn the devil.
So
I mean,
it was a doctor and some nurses. So
correct.
it's not like the whole hospital staff was
No.
euthanizing people. So let's get that straight.
Right. Right. But my mindset is this: how many doctors and how many nurses were there during the flooding? A lot of medical staff, I'm sure, went home.
Yeah.
Yes.
So are we talking it was the only medical staff left there when floodwaters rose? Because when those levees broke, there was very little time. I mean, I don't live in Louisiana, but I know that
Oh,
there
that's
was very little
horrible.
time from when the levees broke. Well, it's part of research.
Well, see,
but-
supposedly it's kind of like well, it's kind of like when the captain is supposed to go down with the ship when it comes to a mass casualty type thing or anything of that sort. You're
Yeah.
not really allowed to leave. You are actually supposed to stay there, and everybody else is supposed to come in and actually be a part of solving the situation. So,
Sure, no, I get
I
that. I
can't
get the
say
protocol.
that people didn't leave, but yeah, I
Right.
mean, they're supposed to actually stay there and help out. Now, whether that happened, I don't know.
Yeah, that's just crazy. I mean, that's standard protocol, and I'm sure that they were probably trying to bring more medical staff in to assist because of the power outages
Yeah.
and I mean, I'm sure that most hospitals that had generators, the generators were probably in the basement. That was the first place flooded.
Yep.
Would be my guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
And
that's
I did read a little bit where they were saying that they were doing the vents by hand for anybody that could sit there and, pump, the hand and I guess handheld bamboo bags.
Yeah.
They were, doing that. So yeah, the generators and stuff was probably in the bottom.
Yeah. And see, so you would think that with that in mind, when they're building and creating these places in flood areas or potential flood areas, you would think that they would
Mhm.
keep that in mind and put the generators, I don't know, on the top dang floor or halfway up the building.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Right. And they may have changed protocol. They may have changed it since then.
I would hope
Hopefully
so.
they have.
I would hope so because that to me that would make more sense.
Well, I mean, you have to realize too.
Built,
You have to realize too that was a freak accident. I mean, that levee broke. During any other hurricanes, they had like Betsy, Camille. Levees never broke. I mean, you had flood, but it wasn't that. I mean, it wasn't like the levee breaking and all that water from the lake going into there.
Oh no, I get it. I get it. Katrina was never even thought to do the damage that it did.
Right.
And I get that even though Louisiana, New Orleans specifically, that area floods on a regular basis, it's not like Katrina. But what I'm saying is this: if you prepare ahead of time for worst case scenario, which was Katrina when it came to flooding, right? Because the levees that held back all that water and the pumping stations broke. So you didn't have the ability to pump the water out of the city. So if you prepare when building these buildings and hospitals and put the generators and the flood pumps and whatever up higher, then that would make sense, right?
Yes. Yes.
Well, maybe not the flood
Yeah,
pumps because it's
yeah,
going to pump the water, but you get what I'm saying. At least a generator, so they could
yeah,
have
yeah,
the
yeah.
ventilators running to keep the patients alive.
But to see what Howard wrote, if that's the case, then explain to me why did all the doctors, nurses, and administrators leave a nursing home and didn't take none of the residents, in which all the residents drowned, and that's true. They just locked the doors and walked away and left all those old people in the nursing home.
And was this
Well,
in New
what
Orleans?
I was
Yes,
saying is protocol. I'm not saying that people didn't
yeah, they
run. I'm just
did
saying
on
what
that one,
protocol is. They are supposed to stay there and move those patients to safety. Now,
and they
why?
didn't.
And I don't know. I don't live in Louisiana and I haven't
And
followed it. Why that place and those people were not prosecuted? I would like to know that.
I think they were.
Well, it said that the
Then they
case
should have
against the
been.
doctor and nurse, they didn't. I mean, it went away because the grand jury wouldn't indict. So I'm assuming that Louisiana has to have a grand jury indict to press charges, which to me makes no
Yes,
sense.
but I know that
Because
one's true.
they take an oath to do no harm, but yet they put these people to death
Mhm,
instead of evacuating
mhm.
them
And
and tending to their medical needs.
that was a sad one because I can't imagine just locking up people and going to save your own life and leaving all those old people in it. That was so sad. That's one I would like to go
Mhm.
investigate. We can go investigate that one.
All were not prosecuted. Exactly, Howard. That's what I'm saying. That and just because
Yeah.
you're a medical professional does not remove you from accountability or culpability even in an emergency situation. Now, if you're in floodwater and somebody is on a ventilator and you have no physical way to move them, okay, then I could see maybe something being justified, but I would think that if they had the ability to inject them with drugs or whatnot, that they had the ability to have them removed from that building. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there, but I'm just saying that makes no sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of a catch 22, okay? Because
Hi, Mohammed.
let's look at it this way. And I'm probably going to get some hate for this, but let's say that you're in that situation. The flood water is all the way up to your shoulders already. Okay. What are you going to do? Are you going to stay there and drown when you have the ability to get out? Now, I know what I would do. I would save as many people as possible. But when it comes down to the end, you're going to save your life. I'm sorry, that's human emotion. That is a fight or flight type thing. You're going to do what you can do until you can't do no more. Now, I'm not saying that these people, as far as the nursing home, I don't know how high the water was. I don't know if they left when it first started. Now, if they did do that and did not try to evacuate anyone, then yes, they should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Now, if they did evacuate people and they couldn't get the rest of them, that's a different situation. But if it's as, Howard was saying that they just locked the doors and just left, then they should have been prosecuted.
Yes.
Period.
Wow. This is just
It,
It was
it,
a messed
Sarah.
up situation all the
it
way
was.
around.
It
Period.
was.
Period. Yeah.
It
And I
it
mean,
is.
we're talking about the paranormal and so on and so forth. Can you imagine the energy that is left in that whole area? In that whole area, just the
Let's talk
energy,
about
the emotions, just walking through there.
and it's not even okay. So I haven't been to the hospital physically. I have been to the French Quarters, and that entire
Mhm.
place just overwhelms you with energy. Like the moment we got out of the car, it just hit you like a ton of bricks. Like a ton of bricks. I mean,
Mhm,
you can
mhm.
feel the death. You can feel the anguish. And I'm not saying that this is all due to Katrina because it's not. I mean, that city has a huge history of lots of tragedy
Mhm.
that has happened in it that goes further back than
Oh
Katrina.
yeah.
But what I'm saying is the French Quarters in general knocks you down with the spirits that are there, which includes that
I
hospital.
bet. I bet.
So,
In
I
the
mean,
Superdome. In the Superdome, because when they evacuated, they all went to the Superdome, and the stuff that
Mhm.
happened in the Superdome was even worse too. So
exactly,
you have all that.
exactly,
Oh
exactly.
yeah. Oh yeah.
It, what's the energy like? Oh, I just, Sarah, I said just the energy just knocks you down. I mean, it takes your breath away. It's my very first time in the city, my very first day there, it was so overwhelming. So overwhelming. Like by the time we got done in the city and we went back to the North Shore, I was just emotionally drained. Drained. Like, and when we
Mhm.
finally sat down for a minute for me to gather myself, tears was just running down my face. Like Eileen was so worried about me, she called Beth because she didn't know what was wrong with me, but it was just the sheer emotion of being in that city, feeling and seeing everything that I was seeing and trying to determine what was life and what was death on what I was feeling and what I was seeing and what I was hearing. So day 2, Christy went with more crystals on, grounding myself a whole lot better, and I did better on day 2. But I wasn't. I mean, I was at the aquarium most of the second day, so I didn't do a whole lot. Which the aquarium is right by the French Quarters. It's technically in the French Quarters, but I didn't venture
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
a lot of those downtown buildings that we did on day 1. So I didn't even make it to Marie Laveau's grave. So when we moved there, that's the first stop. I'm just saying.
And if they don't want to go, me and you will go. Because
That's
I've never
right.
been there neither, and I lived
That's
here all my
right.
life.
We'll just leave the guys behind. They can do their thing. They can do their football thing, and we'll go do
Hey,
the
wait,
bull.
no, I have to watch football. I have to watch the Saints.
What? Jackie!
Have to be after the Saints or before the
Okay.
Saints on.
Well,
Wait a minute, not even on
listen,
Saturday. Wait, maybe
we're
not
not-
because I got LSU on Saturday. So I'm
we
sorry.
gotta keep them entertained with something. Shoot.
I like my football. LSU Saints, yeah,
Oh Lord, I can't. Yeah, Jason's a Saints fan too.
they
He
both
is.
won. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hmm,
Oh Lord.
that's the hardest part. You see,
The differences in yeah, yeah. For that city, for me it was. For me it
what's
sure was.
alive and not. Yep. Hi everyone. I want y'all
Even
to
living down in Mississippi, I've never been to the French Quarter. Never been there.
Really?
This
Well,
is
see,
Chrissy
Mm-mm.
Baggett's twin. Oh, that must be Sarah, huh?
I don't think Sarah said that. I want y'all to
Might
meet
No, I
because
believe
somebody
might
that's
have been
Steven.
Steven. Might have been Steven.
probably because that's pun. He was upset because you launched your water bottle. Listen, I not forgot your future bride at the time. She was right beside me.
I
Oh,
don't pay attention to nothing. It probably would hit me in the face and I wouldn't know where it came from. X Howard.
yeah, yeah.
I know.
Anybody who's sensitive for sure, ground yourself well before entering that city. And I don't even know that you have to be sensitive because it's so thick there that you can just feel the energy.
Yeah, there's a lot of energy down there.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
crazy.
I lived on the West Bank. It had to hit there first before it crossed over to hit New Orleans, and the house I was living in didn't have no damage.
Really?
Yeah, I
Hmm.
mean the West Bank, hardly anything.
Well, Howard was
But
also saying that there's a light at Charity Hospital that still comes on, and there's no power to that building. In the dead center of like the probably the 8th or 10th floor, there's a light that shines that nobody knows what that light is.
yeah, for
So
Hmm.
Christmas, I like it's like a Christmas tree,
yeah,
and then it comes on.
the air is extremely thick, and Nola, you can feel that's for damn sure. Use my language, but that is, yeah, it knocks you down. It takes your breath away. I could, yeah, I'm saying I was a hot mess by the time we got done in
I
that
can
city.
imagine.
Hot mess. No,
It was.
you just, there's no preparing for that, for
No.
real.
I mean, a lot of stuff happened in that area. I mean, I lived by
Oh,
a plane crash. Can you imagine that? I mean, in the neighborhood, the plane went
no,
down in my neighborhood.
no.
We have to go walk
Mm.
through there. I have to bring you there.
Yeah.
I
Now,
mean,
was
it's
that
like
close to where we were? Is that close to the area where your daughter lives, or no? Is that a different area?
it's further. I mean, it was close, but it's more towards going towards the river.
But the
By
same
I
town.
live by the airport, so the planes went directly over the house.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so and then it was raining, so it was wind shear, and it just pushed that plane down and crashed. Like backyard is Webster, the next street's Fairway, and it hit right down in the backyard.
2023, we'll be having a Fear Fest here in New Orleans. Yes. Yes, we will. October 2023. Mohammed, yes. Ask away. Ask away. We got 11 minutes. So if you got a question, throw it at us. James the fam actually catch that light on camera. Was he in the building, Stephen? Well, girl, you better plan. Get your hotel book now, sister.
Yep.
It's gonna be a big shindig.
Yep. And if you're a medium or psychic or something, like most people are, I mean, when you go down there, you're just gonna feel all that energy.
Not
Like
just
Christy
feel it, you're
said.
gonna see it. You're gonna
Yeah.
see it. You're gonna see people walking around and they're not people. They're spirits, but they look like people. Do you believe in table tipping point? Crystal?
Okay, I've slept a long time, so remind me what the hell table tipping point is. I'm sorry, I'm just not.
Well, isn't that where you basically tell them or tell the spirits to lift the table and shift it? Isn't that what table tipping? Tell me what that is, Muhammad. I believe that's what it is. Let me make sure. Table.
Yeah, I'm not for sure about that one. Steven said no, outside on the corner. He was building, trying to find that light. He was outside when he found the light, when he captured the light.
Explain what you mean, Muhammad. You ate that whole thing already? Oh my God, you're a fat kid in a skinny man's body. I'm sorry. Table tipping. Oh, table turning is a type of a seance in which participants sit around the table, place their hands on it, and wait for rotations. A form of psychic phenomenon in which the table rotates or tilts, just like I said, so it rises. So basically,
So it's kind of like levitation.
Yes, but with a table.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Okay. I'm not saying it couldn't be done. It would have to take, I would think, a very strong spirit to be able to do that. I think it could be. I mean, if they can reach out and touch you and you can feel them, if they can, move stuff on command, I think it could be done, but it would take a lot of energy.
I think anything can move, levitate, suspend, at will. I don't even think that your hand has to be on it. Okay. Because let's talk about when we were all in grade school, junior high, and we did that person who, you would hold a person with one or two fingers, 4 people, somebody who weighed 150 pounds. I mean, so is that spiritual or is that just science? You know what I'm saying? So to me, it is better if you're not touching an object and it moves based on the spirit. Um, but can it happen? Sure. I've seen it done on some shows. And these weren't more of the high secular shows, but more of a show that I would watch. So yes, it is possible, but I think that a lot of people fake evidence also. And I'm with Crystal that it would take an awful lot of energy to lift a heavy table. Even if they channeled through you, I mean, it would take a lot of energy.
Oh,
Listen, Stephen, hold stuff together, sir. I can't. I just can't.
Is he talking about Muhammad, the Ouija board?
But people are putting 2 fingers on the board. Are you talking about a Ouija board, Muhammad? I don't mess with Ouija boards.
Neither do I.
I think that's very hard to believe. Table tipping. Okay. So again, I don't use a Ouija board. I think that can be a dark portal, and I think that you're opening up something that could bring evil in.
Yes, I am.
And I think that those people who do use them, and I'm not saying that you can't, but I'm saying that if you do use one, you need to know what you're doing. You need to know what's coming through. You need to make sure that you close that board and that circle when you're done. Because if you leave it open-ended, then that's a problem.
And that's what he is talking about. Yes, I am.
Yeah, so it's just it's irresponsible to utilize that when you don't know what you're doing. And don't get me wrong, there is no experts in the field, but I mean, if I were around someone who was going to utilize that thing, I would want to know that they know exactly what they're doing, that they have the religious backing and faith that if something bad comes through there, they can deal with it in the moment. Like, I don't want something bad attaching to me or attacking me right then that somebody can't handle. Because then what's going to happen? Everybody's going to be sidetracked trying to deal with that in the moment. The board's still going to be open. What else is coming through that you're not seeing?
Mhm.
Yep.
I think it's a
Yep.
big no. Now, some people will tell you that I'm wrong, and that's okay. Because you don't have to believe me. You don't have to like my answer. That's just my personal opinion.
Who's they?
That's me. I will not touch one for one. I haven't done it. I've done this for a long time, but I haven't done it. Don't know how to open it. Don't know how to close it. Don't want to. Another thing is you have to really trust the people that you're with using that, not only for them to open or close correctly, so on and so forth, but thoughts can be a powerful thing also. So if you have someone who is thinking the wrong way, that opens up a whole nother can of worms. And no thanks. I'm just not going to do that.
Well, and my thing, okay, so I had one experience with one Ouija board my entire life. I was 16 years old. I went to a sleepover at a friend's house, and they were all playing with the Ouija board. The moment that I walked into the room, the moment that I stepped into the room, the planchette or planche, however you say it, the thing lets you a little move around on the board, flew off the board and hit the wall when I walked into the room. I left.
Oh, yeah.
I left. I left. I wasn't even participating, but the moment that I walked in, that whatever it was that they were connecting with didn't want me in that room. But so yeah, no, I don't
Yeah,
fool with
no.
them. Oh
no.
no, Kevin. Nope, not gonna use it, sir. Don't do it. I know where you live.
Yeah, he lives next door to me,
Exactly.
and he's been bad lately, chasing me with a snake.
Listen. You think that I missed that comment? Jackie has a birthday tomorrow.
No, I don't.
Happy birthday, Miss Jacqueline Petrie.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I was trying to put those comments up there. I'm ignoring them. Kevin and Gabe.
I'm not going to ignore it. It's your
Too
birthday,
late.
girl.
Too
We're
late.
going to celebrate your day, girl. Shoot. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. It's tomorrow, though.
That's okay. Well, your mama was in labor, I'm sure, right now. So there you go. You were working on coming into the world right now.
That's right. Backwards.
There you
And
go.
Nikki said hi earlier to all of us. So hi, Nikki.
Yep. Hi, everybody. Sorry if we missed comments. We've kind of got sidetracked with some of the information that we were given, and I was reading an article. And yeah, this has been a fun show, though, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep. Our time is almost over. So I'd like to say thank you to everybody. Oh, let me get that off there. Okay.
She's not going to end with happy birthday up there.
Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day, and remember 9/11.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Blessed be, everybody.
Yes.
Yep.